Whew. Hello, this is your boy, the Almighty Green Talent, bringing you a video of today's cuts. The Eagles have made their third and final cuts of today. Some of the guys I'm going to talk about, I'm going to make sure that you know who they are, and you may be surprised at some of the guys that was cut, and some of the guys that probably should have been kept, or some of the guys that could make the practice squad. Because remember, the practice squad now can only pertain, it used to be 6, now to 8 players. They can keep up to 8 players from the guys they waived, because some of these guys could get picked up. But before I begin to this video and talk about the guys that have been waived, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to this video. Please hit the notification bell on top, and don't forget to smash the like, because smashing the likes and forget the video circulate all social media and YouTube land. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it. Good old T. Anyway, these guys that were released today, I made 2 videos. Please go back and check those videos before you actually come to this video for the final conclusion of the guys that were waived today. Alright, some of the guys I've already mentioned to you guys. Some of these guys I'm probably gonna mention them again, and once I mention them again, there's a possibility you probably already heard them in the first and second video. The first video I made only had 4 releases. Then it doubled that with the second video. So like I said, go back and check those 2 videos, because this video that I'm making now, I'm going to mention again. Alright. These are guys that was released today from the Eagles. Linebacker Owen Burks. Wide receiver Paris Campbell, who I mentioned in the last video. Offensive lineman Nick Gates. Guard center Matt Hennessy. That was inspected. That release was inspected. Wide receiver John Ross. That was inspected. And tackle guard Brent Toft. This is a guy the Eagles drafted many years ago. So they signed him this off season for camp body. And a lot of these guys that I mentioned, Nick Gates, Matt Hennessy, and Brent Toft, those were camp bodies. John Ross was when the Eagles brought in John Ross, they brought John Ross. I think he came to the organized team activity. I think he attended organized team activities. What I want to say. He went into training camp, doing really well in training camp for some odd reason. He didn't make the roster, so I'm not exactly sure. I think he was hurt. I believe some of the guys got hurt, and some of the guys just didn't play, or they played, or probably just didn't play too well to make the roster, to make the final cuts. Actually, remember now, at 53-man roster, I believe that somewhere in the near future they're gonna change that roster number, because that's an odd number. Everybody know that 1 and 3 are odd numbers. So at some point in time, they need to change that odd number and make it an even number. 54 men, or 56 men, 58 men, maybe 60 men. You know what I'm saying? Adds to the roster. That would be great if they were to change that roster total from 53 to a much higher number, to make it competitive on the sidelines as well as in the game. And the practice squad should change from 8 to 10. Just saying. All right, here we go. Waived. These guys that were waived. Quite a bit. Look like it's more than 20 guys. Look like it's 25 guys that were cut. Okay, here we go. Tackle guard Gottlieb Yeezy. His name is Ayedze. I think I butchered his name. Tackle Anim Dankwad. Dankwad, D-A-N-K. I think that's Dank. And W-A-H. It's Wah. Dankwad. I hope I pronounced that right. Running back Tyrion Davis Price. I thought he was playing pretty good at the running back position. They might bring him back to the practice squad if he passed through waivers. Tight end Kevin Forge. I mentioned him earlier in one of the videos. The fifth tackle Gabe Hall. Now, Gabe Hall is a guy who I thought that want to make it. That guy was 6'5", 6'6", 280 or 90 pounds. Someone longer been there. I thought he was gonna make the roster. He probably did well. He might, if he passed waivers, he might just want to practice squad. Hope he make the practice squad. I hope he does. Wide receiver Jacob Harris injured. Wide receiver Griffin Hebert. I mentioned earlier in the video, earlier in another video. Defensive end Tyron Jackson, who I also mentioned in another video. Tight end E.J. Jenkins. Cornerback Josh Jobe. That guy keeps on getting cut. I really don't understand that. Outside linebacker Terrell Lewis. Center Dylan McMahon. That's the center right there. I think McMahon was one of the undrafted free agent. I think he was undrafted free agent, I believe, for this season. Cornerback Zach McPherson, former fourth to fifth round draft pick 4 years ago. Got hurt last season. I thought he was making progress last year until the injury, but he came back this season, and I'm not sure what happened there. Running back Kendall Milton. Defensive tackle R.J. Mustafa. Wide receiver Joseph Nagata, injured. Running back Lou Nichols. Guard Jason Poe. I mentioned him in another video. Tight end Amani Rogers. Safety Andre Sam. I mentioned him in another video. Linebacker Brandon Smith. Cornerback Sean Stevens. I mentioned him in another video. Safety Caden Stearns, non-injury list. Tackle Lakin Vakalari. I think that's the guy the Eagles bought him from the what they call it, the NFL exchange student program. I think he was a guy that Marlotta kind of really vouched for to make this roster. I think that's who that is right there, I believe. And wide receiver Austin Watkins. I've already mentioned in the second video the guy that picked on injury reserve, and this a new one. Placed on reserve, since unable to perform. That's safety Sidney Brown. All right, now, and like I say, the injury reserve, they returned that tight end Albert O and wide receiver Anea Smith. All right, those are the guys that was mentioned in the release wave situation, and I think they already mentioned. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mention the guys that they kept. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Quarterbacks 3: Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, Kenny Pickett. Running backs, they kept 3: Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Gainwell, Will Shipley. Wide receivers, they kept 5: AJ Brown, Brendan Covey, Jahan Dawson. That was expected because he came over via trade. Devonta Smith and Johnny Wilson, the draft pick. I think he's the 5th round draft pick this year. I'm glad he made it. You know what I'm saying? Tight end, he only kept 2: Greg Calcaterra and Dallas Goedert. Now, I'm kind of interested to see how they gonna use Grant Calcaterra, depending if he can stay injured free this year. His rookie and his second year he was injured. His rookie year he played in preseason, did really well up until the injury, and then and then he came back this season, did really well, got hurt, and then came back later into the season and didn't do much. Okay, that's Goddard. Offensive line, they kept 9: Mekhi Becton, Landon Dickerson, Fred Johnson, Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, Trevor Keegan, Darian Kennard, Jordan Mailata, and Tyler Steen. All right. Defensive line, they only kept 6: Thomas Booker, who barely made it but got in. Jalen Carter, that was expected. Jordan Davis, that was expected. Moro Jobo, that was expected. Marlon Tortolupu, and Milton Williams. Them your 6. All right, here's your edge. You got 6 edge rushers: Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, Jalen Hunt, the rookie, Patrick Johnson, Nolan Smith going to his second year, so going to his second year, and Josh Sweat going to his 7th or 8th year. Okay, linebackers. Zach Barnes, that was expected, Nakobe Dean, Jeremiah Trotter, Ben Van Summer, thank God, that was my man right there, and Devin White at 5. Okay. The defensive back they kept 11, which is extremely high. We normally keep about 7 or 8 defensive backs. This time they went with 11. They kept Reed Blankenship, James Bradbury. A lot of people expect him to be traded, but that never happened. Cooper DeJean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Avonte Mattis, Trenton McCullen. I know where was he going to make it? Quentin Mitchell, Eli Ricks, wow. Keely Ringo, Isaiah Rogers, and Darius Slay. Specialists, Jake Elliott, Rick Lovato, Braylon Mann. Okay, those were your guys that the Eagles kept for the 53-man roster there. And there have been some guys that have been released by several teams this year. Certain teams this today. The Eagles could still bring in another center, and they could bring in another tight end. So we'll see how that works going into the regular season. I hope all these guys are healthy, because after today, there could be no more practices now. So all the guys that the Eagles have released got to clean out their lockers and move on, and hope to get picked up by other teams for either practice squad purposes or just be out there waiting for that turn in case an injury happens to another team, and they get called for backup to the two opposing teams. That we only can hope for all the players on all 32 teams that were released and cut today. And like I said, the Eagles going to get 80 players and put them on the practice squad. They gotta bring in at least another center to back up Cam Jurgens. I hope they don't think that Trevor Keegan or Landon Dickerson to play center. I hope not, but then you never know. So we'll see what happens there as far as bringing in new guys, because there's going to be some trades, and there's going to be some guys that going to be on the bubble or on the waiver wire that you can scan and see what they can pick up and bring in for backup purposes, and try to release and play everything by ear. We'll see how that go at that point in time. So without any further ado, this is the last and final video of the roster changes. Like I said, please go back and check those 2 videos out before you view this one. This one here, last and final video, because there will not be no more reports coming in now as far as what the Eagles have done as far as release, cuts, and trades. So we see what happened there, or practice squad players. We don't know who they're going to put on the practice squad, because today they got when you're released or waived, you got to go through waiver within 24 hours. Once you pass 24-hour waiver, then the Eagles can call these guys up and put them on the practice squad. Like I said, they got to have 8 guys got to make the practice squad. So we'll see who they're going to put there. I hope Gabe Hall makes it, because he's a defensive tackle. We need defense. So in case some guy get hurt on the defense side, like Jordan didn't get hurt, they can call up Gabe Hall and have him to play Jordan Davis' position, or Jalen Carter. We don't know. Because a lot of these guys can get hurt between week 1 going into the bye week, with the possibility of going into the playoff, because health is a concern. Health will be the reason why the Eagles try to go as far as they can into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of Eagle content creators have already made their live shows or their videos pertaining to who was released and cut. Go by and check those guys out. If you don't want, you can check mine out, because my videos is raw and uncut, while those guys are behind green screens and all that nature. I'm not behind no green screen. Everything is front up, forward face for you guys to understand where I'm going to come from and for as the guys that I bring to y'all. So, without further ado, I am the Almighty Green Talents, and the video, like I said, this last and final video now pertains to the preseason and roster cuts and trim downs from 90 to 53. It's officially in the books. We are out of here in 2 weeks, baby. The preseason begins, and I think college football starts this weekend. I believe it's either this weekend or next week before the games are pro. So we'll see what goes happen there. You guys enjoy your Tuesday. I will be seeing you guys moving forward for more NFL or Eagles news. And we're gonna do this. We out. Peace.